So there's terrible fires in Europe. Over 1,000 people have died. Probably hundreds of thousands of people have been displaced. Um, Heat wave, 100 degrees in the UK. Um, and it's just part and parcel to what's coming. I read a statistic today that 2 degrees increase in global temperatures, you're going to start seeing worldwide crop failures. That's projected to happen in 2035. By 2065, it'd be 4 degrees if we don't do anything, and most of the human species will be dead, and that's within my lifetime. And by 2095, the planet will be totally uninhabitable. And I have no faith in our leaders globally to have the will to address this and level with the people. So we're going to have to do it ourselves. And the fact of the matter is that whether we choose it or whether it's forced on us, we're going to have to do more with less. There's going to be less food. There's going to be less fuel. There's going to be less. And one of the things that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to shorten our spheres of influence. We're not going to be able to travel cross country. We're not going to be able to fly all over the planet. We're going to have to live within our means and within our communities, which is going to require a complete transformation in the way that communities are organized. We need to start building institutions in communities that provide for the basic needs of the people within those communities. And this is going to happen whether we like it or not. If you want to get out ahead of it and start doing it now so that we can have this stuff in 13 years when we stop having food, that would be a good idea. It would be best not to wait till the last minute to create these institutions. One of the things we tried to do in Birmingham was community gardens and aquaponics. And aquaponics is a really good technical solution. It requires very few external inputs. It's highly productive, and you could have an aquaponics farm on a quarter-acre farm that could feed an entire neighborhood with protein and with vegetables. Now, it'd get boring. It's going to be the same vegetables and the same proteins all the time, but it would provide those things. We couldn't get the political leadership to even blink at it. We've started the Automotive Free Clinic, which is transportation, keeping cars on the road, but cars are not going to be a long-term solution. And really, we need infrastructure that encourages people not to drive. My theory is that every community could have 4 vehicles. Whether they're electric or gas, I don't really think it matters. Electric is, it costs 12 tons of carbon to build an electric vehicle. And really, we just need to stop building vehicles, period. Not to mention the environmental destruction from mining lithium and other rare earth metals. We really need to use the cars that we have, the older vehicles. We could convert them to gasifiers, which would run them off trash and wood. And you could have 4 in every community. You could have a passenger van, a good gas mileage, little 4-cylinder vehicle, a pickup truck for moving stuff around, and then a toy. Because some people like automotive technology, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like automotive technology. There's nothing wrong with having a toy. But we only need 4 in a community of 2,500 or 5,000 people, and everything else should be available within walking distance of people's homes. My community that I live in right now could easily be converted into this with different zoning ordinances. Right now, zoning ordinances are sectioned off for single-family homes, sectioned off for multifamily homes. We need to be able to have a house in a neighborhood converted to a rudimentary grocery store, and we need to be able to have community gardens in that neighborhood, particularly aquaponics, supplying those grocery stores. So we got transportation, we got food, water. Water. the availability of water is going to be at an extremely high need in the future. Now, luckily for us in the American South, it's still going to rain. It's not going to rain as much, but it's still going to rain, so we could have rain barrel systems to collect water. One of the things that I thought could be interesting is if we're still running air conditioning systems, we could collect the sweat from the air conditioning system, which is just water out of the air. You could do this in vehicles, automotive air conditioning systems, or in residential air conditioning systems. So there's lots of creative ways to get water, but we're going to have to start providing all of this stuff for ourselves, and we're going to have to live lower, at a lower quality of life than what we are accustomed to living. Everybody. And some people will say this is a Trojan horse for communism, or maybe it is, but these communities, these little communities that govern themselves, are going to have to take care of everybody together. And whether you want to call that communism or just being a decent human being, all these communities are going to have to take care of themselves. And it's coming. There's no doubt. Climate change is here. It's going to transform the planet. And if we don't get out ahead of it, more people are going to die than is necessary to die. And we're going to lose some population on the globe. There are going to be a lot of environmental catastrophes that are going to result in more deaths than usual. But if we want to head off the worst of this, we got to start now. I mean, right now. And, people that don't believe in climate change, I don't know what to tell you. I really don't know what to tell you. The evidence is all there. And it's just plain to see. It's plain as day to see. Increased wildfires, increased flooding. One of the things that I learned in grad school was that the snow line, one of the evidence of climate change is that the snow line on mountains is moving up the mountains because it's getting hotter. It's just basic observational stuff. It's not some complex theory. So, we're going to have to do something. And if we don't, this is going to be this planet is not going to be hospitable to life anymore. And as a person who grew up in the United States, the blame is going to fall squarely on the United States as the global empire failure to act when it was necessary. If anybody survives to read that history. So I will see y'all next time. Peace, y'all.